Well, greetings and salutations, and welcome to You Ought to Know, the podcast where we dive into all things automotive with the goal of being educational, enlightening, engaging, and if none of those, at the very least, entertaining. I'm Mike Urban. I'm your host and owner of Urban Automotive in Oakville, Ontario. Whether you're a fellow shop owner, a client, or someone simply curious about the world of cars, thanks for joining us on the ride today. So I always start off most of my podcasts with saying I have the esteemed pleasure, but truly today I do have the esteemed pleasure because these guests have traveled a great distance from the beautiful province of La Belle Province, Quebec, Montreal. We have today the President of Blackcircles Canada, Mr. Martin Gendron, and Olivier Llorca. From Montreal. Now, some fancy things that Montreal is known for: smoked meat, bagels, the Habs, the Canadians, and apparently the best tire guys in the business. So welcome, gentlemen, and thank you for taking the time to come to Oakville to spend some time with us. So you guys are down getting an award today.
Correct.
Let's talk about that out of the hop here.
Yeah, it's actually we're gonna be awarded the Excellence Canada Awards for the excellence of our operations. So we're very thrilled to have that. We're going to be a gold package or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's a huge accomplishment, and we're very proud of that.
That is something to be very proud of because that is not an easy goal to achieve. That's not just, hey, you're the best. There's actual grading that's involved.
Yeah, actually, there's a bit more than that. It's a huge process that we have to go through. It's not a simple process. So they come in, and we have somebody who is with us throughout to that. But also, there's auditors after that comes in to say, okay, you told us. Now we want to see that you're really doing what you tell us. So, and that's how. And then there's ratings on every audit. And then that's the amount of the ratings that provide you to have the awards.
Phenomenal. So I'm extra proud of these guys because if I can start with our story.
Of course.
Can I start with our story?
Of course.
So 7 years ago.
2019 in January.
January 2019, I get a random phone call from a guy with a heavy, thick French accent.
Yeah, guilty.
Telling me that he's starting this business of online tire selling and wants me to be a installer. And I listened half-heartedly to his sales pitch, and I'm like, okay, he's going to send me some information via email. Okay, sends me the information. I'm like, okay, $20 a tire install. Okay, interesting. So then I call around to some of the other shops in town. As a matter of fact, I called 6 other shops, which you had called.
Yeah.
You reached out to
course.
everybody. You're a diligent guy. This guy is a driver. He's an entrepreneur, but a businessman, and he's reached out to everybody in town. And all of the shops that I talked to said, "This is crazy. Why would you do this? No, we're not going to do it." Every one of them said no. I then reached out to my staff and said, "What do you guys think?" And guess what they all said, Martin?
Don't do this.
Don't do it. Are you nuts? Why would we do it for only $20 a tire? That's insane. Some tires takes longer. He's only willing to do this. This is crazy. But I saw something, and I knew something would be good. So what did we do?
We did a partnership, and we start from there.
We signed up and said, here's what I want. I want a 5-kilometer radius around my shop that I'm the only shop, because when you take off, it wasn't if you take off, when you take off, I want to be exclusive to my area. And you've held up to that.
Yep.
I appreciate that. So for those that don't know, Black Circles is very much like Amazon. That's how I tell my customers. You're buying tires online, and it's a very unique business. There are others out there. If our friends in the U.S. are watching, it's very similar to Tire Rack, I guess.
Yeah, similar to extent.
We have other.
But actually, our mission is to be the TripAdvisor of tires. So
I love
to be
it.
the knowledgeable people, and to be the what's it called for the restaurants, when you book
The
online.
open tables.
The open
Yeah.
table for garage.
Awesome.
So you go in and you choose a tire, you choose the garage, date and time, you book it. So it's like a turnkey first turnkey approach that very simple. So we solve a lot of problems for customers. So we book the appointments for customers and so on. So, but after that, it's a handshake with the garage. Then we send it. But then after the garage, he brings the customer. We give him a customer zero cost of acquisition. But at the same time, when you have a garage, you notice, hey, there's something this and this to your car. And that's where you come in as a professional. You look at the car and then you don't oblige the customer to do a repair.
No.
But there's potential repairs or stuff that you need to do on the car, oil check and stuff like that. Even on a platform, we offer, do you want an oil check? Do you want an alignment and stuff like that? And when people do that, it's a pass through directly to the garage. So it's
A partnership.
a partnership.
Yeah.
Totally.
It is absolutely no surprise to me that you guys have earned this award from where you guys started your business and to where you are now.
I remember in 2018, I hired a girl named Geneviève, who is my director of finance, and she still is today. And I remember the first day, she says, "Where's my office?" Says, "I opened the computer, it's behind the computer." And she looks at me, "Really? Yeah, we have to build from ground up for everything." And my three pillars that I call, that my director of finance, director of marketing, and director of sales, which is Olivier's director of sales, but they've been with me since day one. But not only that, but they embrace the vision, the mission, and the culture. So it became as much as theirs that it's me, and that's I think that's why there's a success. It's not I had a way of doing things, but we need people to embrace it. And
Right.
they did it, and people that come up to our office, they say when they come in, it breathes, even if it's an online company.
Yeah. And it is crazy because when I'm telling my customers when they come into my shop and they say, "I want to buy tires from you," we don't sell tires. What do you mean you don't sell tires? No. We have a affiliate that you can get a good deal from getting the tires at wholesale, like Costco pricing. Well, why would I do that? Well, so you can save money. But why do you do that? Because I want you to save money. My relationship is with you. I want what's best for you. These guys are selling it to you at the wholesale price. You're getting a great deal, and you can compare. You can gladly go online and shop and then go to Costco or wherever and see the price, and it's very, very competitive.
And
The
the price is something, but also the service portion.
That's what I was just going to say. The big difference is the service.
Yeah.
I
And
think
being
that's why our partnership has been so successful, is that we're online, we're fighting these battles that you're mentioning about the price, and we're offering a great price, etc. But we're also offering a great service, and we know that when we're sending a customer your way, it's going to be well taken care of. They're going to be well taken care of as well. So that's what we've been looking for, and it's a model internally for us. The partnership we've had has been a model that we want to follow and replicate around Canada because it's been so successful, right? Customers get a great service online from us, great pricing also, but then we send them to a place where we know they're going to be super well taken care of. So that's been the recipe for success, yeah.
so from that call in January, how many shops did you have at that point when you called me? Do you remember?
4.
4. And they were all in Quebec?
No, there was one out west, 2 in Quebec, and 1 in Ontario.
Nice.
Yeah.
So from that, how long ago was that again? So that everybody's
7 years.
7 years. And how many shops or independent garages and dealerships
Yep.
that you have as well?
1,600. So right now we're the biggest independent garage regroupment in Canada. The second one is Canadian Tires, got around 800.
Phenomenal. So how did you carve your niche into the Canadian market? Like, was it just your personality? You're an extrovert, eh? I
No,
can tell you're an
yeah,
extrovert.
of course.
You and me, both
Yeah.
extroverts. Yeah.
I think it's the way we tackle things. I remember the first day, not maybe the first day because we didn't have no sales, but after in the first year, what we said was we need to have somebody answer. So answer meaning that we're online and a basket is around $800. So everybody bought online and received product and says, "Oh my God, it's the wrong product." and they get scared because they bought online.
Right.
Which is the case because most of the online company, you can't reach them. It's a link or something like that, and then you talk to a machine.
Chatbot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us, we answer. We have somebody taking care on the phone. We have some, and it's not we waiting online for 30 minutes. We have somebody taking care of the phone. On chat, it's real human. On emails, we said 2 hours. Obviously, when there's a huge period like we had in the last 2 weeks, that there was the perfect snowstorm and that there was everything at the same time, every rush, there's some delays. But most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, when you call, you chat, and you email, we're right on time and we're there to support the customer. And that's, I think, what make our difference because we test our competitors. We call them up during the season. We have answers sometimes 2 weeks after we send an email. So that's, I think, since day one, what aimed to be our objective. And also maybe Olivier can talk about how we position stuff online, what we do, how we do in merchandising and stuff like that, because that's also different.
I was going to ask Olivier, what is the biggest misconception that people have when they're buying tires online? What is the biggest
Well,
misconception?
there's many. But one of the first ones I would say is, and it ties into what Martin was saying, is that it's a necessity product, and nobody's excited to buy tires, right?
Right.
Nobody thinks, yes, I need to buy tires this year. Awesome.
No.
And people are scared to buy online also. I mean, it's a technical product to some extent. There's sizes, there's dimensions you need to check. It can be expensive also. And so people think, I can't buy online. It's going to be super complicated. That's the first one I would say. And what we do is we try to make it easy for customers to buy tires online. You know, we take them by their hand and we guide them along the way. We explain to them how it's done. They can do a search by vehicle. They can check their tires. And also, we're reachable throughout the whole process. There's a chat that you can reach us directly. There's a phone number. There's an email. There's a ticket system. You know, we're reachable at any time. So if they need support buying their tires, their wheels, whatever, which can be a bit technical, we're here to accompany them. That would be the first one. Because it can be intimidating for sure. But when you put a bit of time, 5 minutes, you realize that it's not that hard and somebody's here to help you out. That would be the number one misconception.
The DOT?
Yeah, that's another one that I was going to get to. There's a lot of, we've had a lot of cases of misconception around tire age. I don't know if it's the right time to talk about it, but we can talk about it.
Oh, why
Tire
not?
age.
Sure.
Yeah, people tend to think that you're buying a tire like you're buying a pizza, right? It needs to be fresh out the oven. It's not always the case. I mean, most tires, there's some that are made in Canada, but most of them are made overseas, in Europe, in Asia, in the US, in Mexico, South America, etc. So tires, they're not going to be 3 months old. We have customers approach us saying, hey, if I get a tire that's more than 3 months old, I want 50% off. It's going to be an old tire. It's not really the case. I mean, tires are made to last, first of all. They're stored in good conditions. And most tires that you buy wherever, at whichever shop you go to, Costco, Canadian Tire, any of them, is going to be probably a year old because it was made overseas. It was brought to Canada. Or maybe 2 years old. In some cases, they were made just last month and they were imported from the US, Mexico, or Canada if you're lucky. And it's going to be fresh. But in most cases, it's going to be a bit older than that. So that's a huge misconception that people have around tires. And they're, again, things that are made to last. They don't degrade. They don't start decaying overnight.
But the rule of thumb in the industry is 7 years from the data manufacturers, what we tell our clients. Now, is that incorrect?
That's correct, but our guarantee is 36 months.
Okay.
So 36 months and newer, if you receive a tire that is 38 months, we're going to change it.
Okay.
We try to do a bit better than what manufacturers recommend. Some of them maintain this uncertainty to some extent, but most of them say a tire is good to sell from up to 5 years from date of manufacturing, and then you can use it for 5 years. So once you install your tires, you can use it for 5 years. After that, you need to inspect it to make sure there's no micro cracks, etc.
Right.
But so overall, the tire can be 10 years old, and you can still use it if it's a good quality tire.
And from the shop's perspective, we have a lot of clients that do local driving. They're seniors. They go to church. They go to the grocery store. They go visit the grandkids. They go home. Their tires are 10 years old. We always mark it in yellow on our inspection report to say, hey, your tires are expired, but they're not taking it on the highway driving to Montreal. Because if they were, then it'd be a bigger concern that you've got expired tires that have the potential of a rupture. So, but it makes sense that you follow
Yeah.
Correct.
the DOT. So, if you could describe the Black Circles business model in one word, but it had to be a movie title, Martin. You started this from ground zero, right? There are other Black Circles in the world, right?
Yeah, correct.
It started in England, I believe.
In England, in Italy, there was one in Egypt, there was one in Thailand, and stuff like that. But to be honest, we're the only one right now who has such a success.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what would be the movie title?
It would have to be 2 words.
Okay.
Keep on rolling.
Okay.
That's 3.
That's
Oh,
3.
that's 3, sorry.
What's the funniest or strangest customer story that you've had since launching in Canada?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we joke around with our team sometimes when we have weird cases. We talked about some customers that, put entry-level tires on very expensive vehicles, Ferraris or Rolls-Royce. But I think some of the best ones we've had is, because again, it's a product that not a lot of people are interested in, right? And misconceptions. So
Yep.
we had a customer that 1 year she bought wheels and tires from us, winter tires, and steel wheels for the winter. She came back the next year, which is great, but she told us, "Can you sell me some that I can keep this time, please?" Because they thought it was a
Disposable.
disposable tire.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we told her, "Look, you could have kept them. We're going to give you a discount. We're going to help with your purchase, but keep them next time."
Wow.
This happened. Yeah.
And we had another story one time. Obviously, sometimes tires are going to couriers.
Yes.
And there's a sticker on it. And when they go to the let's say the FedEx or the Predator, the sticker came out. And one person sent us a photo. Says, "I thought I ordered tires." And he received a carpet. Because the sticker
Went on the carpet. Oh, jeez.
You received a carpet.
Oh, no.
So there's all kinds of stories like that we could, but it's part of the thing.
And your business is based solely on relying on distribution from other companies and product coming in from other companies.
Yeah, in Canada, there's how it works is the manufacturer obviously they have an office in Canada and stuff like that, but the importator or it's the distributor that import the tires and they use their warehouse to be able to ship. So how does it work is every distributor, there's about hundreds of warehouses across Canada. So we're tapped into real time to all of the inventory. So when you see it on our site, it's available. So that's how we work. And usually when a person is buying online, automatically send the order to the distributor. The distributor ships the order.
And we try to, based on their location, the customer's location, we try to optimize for the cheapest price and the cheapest delivery fees, if any. Most of the time it's free delivery, but if any, it's because we had to get the tires in another province. So we try to optimize as much as possible based on all the warehouses and distributors we have access to.
So have the tire and the user as close as possible.
Yeah.
So saving on shipping fees.
And you are in every province and territory in Canada. So when you're shipping to the Yukon, right, to Nunavut, you do.
Yeah, of course. We did it in the past, but the thing is obviously those people are remote. Sometimes tires need to fly out.
I meant to say,
So-
there must
so-
be a huge cost with that.
Yeah, usually it stops at in our system, and then we have to call the customer. And sometimes sending 4 tires to Nunavut costs $600. But
Wow.
they're used to that, and they say, okay, but I don't need. But a good thing is having those people going on Black Circle. They have access to 50+ brands, so they have more choice and stuff like that. And we offer those opportunities.
And you basically cover almost all tire brands. You've got a wide selection.
Yeah.
Your main ones though would be Michelin.
Michelin, Bridgestone, Goodyear,
Pirelli.
Yokohama, Pirelli, you name it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of brands. Most of them we have on the website. All of the well-established brands are on the website, and some more entry-level brands as well to offer different price points. But most of them are on the website. Yeah.
It's amazing because a lot of our customers that when you tell them that they need tires, they want the cheapest tire. Do you come across that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like they just want the cheapest, which is why you come into play. When I'm trying to compete with, before you came along, we would try to compete with the local shops, and we're all getting it from the same suppliers in town. And the story with me was the day that you had called, the day prior, I had it out with one of my tire suppliers because my customers were coming in and they were asking for a tire price. So I'd gladly give them the price on the tire, and they'd walk out the door, and I wouldn't see them again.
To the next shop.
I wouldn't see them again.
Yeah.
And this happened about 6 or 7 times. And then I finally said, like, okay, something's going on here. Like, what the heck? So one of the customers came back, and I said, you came in a couple of weeks ago and you were asking for a price. I said, what ended up happening? He goes, oh, I went to so-and-so and got it. And I said, okay.
For $10.
No. I said, what did they charge you? And he ended up telling me that they sold him the tire at my cost. So I, of course, called the supplier and said, what are you doing? Like, I have to live too. We do our business the way we do our business, and we don't care because we'll sell to anybody. And that ticked me off so much. I said, I will never buy from you again. Like, I may be just a little guy and we don't do that much tire sales, but you know what? I won't buy from you again.
Yeah, but also people think that tires, the margin are huge.
Oh, they're not.
It's a very slim margin.
That's just it, right?
And the thing is, why we're good at it is because we're selling so many
yes.
that we're going on the volume, and then when you have the volume, then you have what we call agreement with manufacturers and stuff that help us out doing more margin, and at the same time we can be competitive, not be the cheapest, but be competitive. But also it's about the services and so on, and also the easeability of buying on Blackcircle, because within 4 minutes, okay, let's say for example, okay, you know which tire you want to buy. You go in, you choose a tire, choose your installation date and time, you pay and you go. It's within 4 minutes, it's done.
On your couch.
On your couch. And then you can go where about taking your kids, going watching a movie instead of time, or going online at Costco and so on and stuff like that, because when you're going to go there, you're going to go, then you're going, okay, but I don't have a tire, I have to make them come. So you have to come back again.
Right.
So for us, it's easeability that and again, sorry, Olivier, again, is people tend not to see what's coming. I have 2 daughters. My daughters are born in 2003 and 2007. They're born with their iPhone. So when they want something, they go on the phone. They want a movie. They want a pair of jeans. They want stuff, and so on. Tires is no different. Cars are no different. Those people are turning 20 years old right now.
Yep.
They're not gonna go kick tires like we did.
No,
They're not gonna go shop a car and go do 5 dealers.
Yeah.
They're gonna go online because that's how they used to be. And people like us, that's where we're at, and that's where we're coming to play.
Well, the phenomenal thing about your website is, if I'm that kind of analytical person, and I'm not, but there's some people out there that are very analytical and very, very proficient, and they want to compare. They want to see, why is this tire the best, and why is this the greatest tire, and how does this compare? You have that option that they can click and compare tires right on the website.
There's ratings also, real world ratings
Yeah.
that we get from customers who purchase the tires. These are not fake reviews, they're actual reviews that we get from the customers who bought the tires. And we ask them to review it all throughout the life of the tire. So after 3 months, we ask for a first review. After a year, we ask for a second review. And after 2 years, we ask for a third review. So you can see how well the tire is performing as you use it.
Or not performing.
Or not performing. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, you can make an educated choice on the website, and that's what's important. Because we often say, for a garage, to some extent, not all of them, but the best tire in the world for garage is the one they have in stock. You know that saying, right?
Or the best margin.
or the best margin.
or what the person at the counter gets from the manufacturers.
Right.
It can be true, but in this case, you have the choice. And also we help guide customers by putting the emphasis on tires that were purchased by other customers in the same size. So we go by what's been successful for customers based on reviews, based on sales. not based on what we would like to sell, but rather based on what our other customers purchased. And that helps make an educated choice, and helps make it more simple for customers as well.
And the entrepreneur out there would says, yeah, but that's not an intelligent thing to do, because it's not our margin that drive the positioning of the merchandising.
Right.
It's actually what customer really wants.
Right.
It's like when you go to a grocery store and you have the let's say the shelving and stuff like that. The company is paying to do that, but us, we're doing this for every size, every season, and so on. It's different from size to size, but it's based on consumers. It's not based on our margin. Obviously, if I have two products that are the same, let's say the last 7 days, let's say a 50%, we're going to choose the best margin to put in position one, but it's not what drive our business.
One of the smartest things I think you guys did was when this whole tariff thing went on with the U.S. I noticed that you marked on your website the tires that are made in Canada. Have you noticed an upswing in sales for Canadian-made tires because of that?
At first,
The first
we
4 or
had
5
we had
months.
a bunch of questions. Yeah, very quickly. Actually,
No States product.
right.
Yeah.
It was more about I don't want tires made in the
The
US rather than I want tires made in Canada.
So how do you circumvent that? How, like, is that even possible? Do you control that? How do you?
I mean, you have options. You have options depending on what you want to buy. Not all tires are made in the US. I mean, most of them are made outside the US. Actually, I would say. So if you have a pickup truck, for example, it's likely that one of the tires you want is going to be made in the US. But most of the time, it's made in South America, in Mexico, in Europe, in Japan as well. For Japanese
PRC?
brands. Yes, for entry level.
It's People Republic of China.
Most entry level brands are made in China, and also some of the major brands make tires in China to some extent. But
But it
mostly
doesn't mean, for
Indonesia,
example, a
Vietnam.
company that a known company use China. It doesn't mean that the quality is less.
Right. That's a
They
good
have
point,
they
yeah.
have requirement that they need to follow.
China doesn't mean bad quality.
No.
At all, actually. They have great factories and they make really high quality products as well. So if a product is made by major brands in China, it's still made by the major brand, right?
And one of the most sold tires in Canada is made in Canada, which is the Michelin Side Snow. It's the one that it's been built in. Most of it, not all of it, not 100%, but most of it is
95%,
built
yeah.
in Halifax.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
New
great.
Brunswick, Nova Scotia.
Because the last big plant that I know here in Ontario was Uniroyal Goodrich, and they closed a number of years ago.
Goodyear has a plant.
Goodyear still has a plant?
Goodyear
Okay.
has a plant in Ontario. They make some tires that are being sold on the Canadian market as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And that's all branded on your website.
Yep.
You've got it all linked so that people that are into that and want to make sure that they support Canadian workers and that they have that option. That's great. That's great. I have a story that I can share because you rode in my car this morning, and I have Minerva tires on, which is entry level on a Cadillac, which most people would think that's crazy, but I'm like, we don't do a heck of a lot of driving with this car. It's good enough, and it does well. But the tires have been great. They're nice and quiet. They're good. And then you told me that there was a customer that put on their Rolls Royce
On a Rolls Royce Cullinan, a $500,000 or $600,000 car.
Minerva tires. So they're not all junk. It's not like it used to be. Before everything was from China was garbage, but they have become innovators, really.
There's entry level product that are respectable.
Yeah, we segment the market based on tiers. We call it tiers, right? There's tier 1, that are the major brands, Michelin, etc., Michelin, Pirelli, Goodyear. There's tier 2s, there's tier 3s, and now there's tier 4s, and there's tier 5 and tier 6 even, which are very much entry level tires imported by the container. And these are the cheapest you can find. And I can't really speak for the quality of these tires, but it's probably not great. We try to have a selection of tires that are from well-established brands and well-supported brands in Canada with a manufacturer presence. Like Minerva, for example, has been in Canada for a while now, and they're proven. Some other tires are just imported by the containers. They're made in China, and there's no
there's no
manufacturer
warranty,
support,
there's no
warranties on that.
nothing. It's
Your 2-year road hazard warranty,
Mhm.
does that cover all tires or some tires?
No, not all tires. Obviously, the all-terrain tires or the rugged tires are not covered. Run flat are not covered.
Okay.
But also, it has to be there's certain rules that you have to look at because it's
If you use
it's
it on
there.
track,
If you use it on
It's
a
not
track,
covered, for
it's
example.
not covered and stuff like that. But it's
But
pretty,
that is one of the things that most tire manufacturers don't have is any kind of road hazard warranty.
absolutely.
It used to be big back in the day, and then everybody
It's
stopped.
hard to manage.
Yes, I
It's very
understand.
hard to manage because manufacturer they have to sometimes look at bring back the tires. Us having 1600 garage, it help us out because sometimes if you're not sure, we send it to our garage and say, have a professional look. Is that normal use? If it's not normal use, obviously it's not covered. But a normal use, it's covered.
So, Olivier, be honest. What is the dumbest thing that people believe about tires?
Well, we talked about the tire age, right? There's
That we can
Yeah.
ship it the same day,
Right.
and they
Oh,
have
yeah.
it installed the same day.
That's what I was expecting, something along those lines.
And we don't. It's not a t-shirt.
Right.
The tires weigh 20 pounds, 25 pounds.
Yeah.
It's shipped unfortunately separate
Right.
because of weight. We cannot tie them up four together because it's weight 100 pounds. And as courier, they have sometimes union and stuff like that, and they have certain amount of weight that they can put
That they
together. And just yesterday, we had a customer called make the order at 3. At 5, he was calling us, where's my tracking and have my installation tomorrow.
classic.
Yeah.
In what world do you live?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
We ship quickly, mind you.
yeah, very quickly compared to the industry.
Sometimes we deliver within 1 business day. It happens. But most of the time, it's going to be 3 to 4 business days, which is already
Right.
great. It's
Oh, yeah.
just the classic is, I have my appointment tomorrow. I ordered this morning. When can I get my tires tomorrow?
I know that on the website when you book, especially when you're busy, generally it's a week out. And I have customers that will say, look, you need tires. Like you are bald. You got the cords coming through. Get them through our friends at Black Circles. We help them down at shop level and they order the tires and they say, well, the earliest is 7 days. I can't wait 7 days. And I say, usually we will receive the tires 3 to 5 business days, usually. And like you say, Olivier, a lot of times we'll get it within 2 days when it's not busy. Right now, it's not unheard of that we receive 3 tires
Yep.
and then 2 days later we'll receive the last tire because they're shipped, I guess, from different warehouses.
Correct.
Because
Separated in transport, that happens,
you have no control over that.
Yeah, no.
So it's just as long as the shops like me can understand how the system works and then can relay it.
We're
That's important.
99% perfect.
Okay.
But the 1% is when the order is screwed up, it's screwed up all over the place because if there's a tire missing, if this, but we're 99% perfect. So we ship within the 3 to 5 business days most of the time. But as you know, there's a lot of things that we don't control.
Right.
So what's happening in the warehouse? Do you have the full staff? Is there somebody sick? Is there a problem with trucks? Is there a problem with this? And then if it's shipped with FedEx, is there a problem with FedEx? Is there a problem with Depot? Is there
Lost in transport.
lost? There's a lot of loose ends that can happen. But I would say 99% of the time we're perfect.
Now you guys have traveled a lot in Canada. Have you hit a lot of the provinces?
Yeah.
Driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know Quebec's known for
Terrible roads.
for terrible roads and aggressive driving.
Yeah.
Aggressive driving.
Latin drivers.
Yeah, very, very aggressive driving. We have a town here in Ontario that it's been on a couple of my podcasts. That Brampton's my favorite place to push to say very aggressive driving, passing on the shoulder, doing 130 kilometers an hour, passing you in the fast lane situation, like aggressive, crazy, stunt driving, all kinds of stuff. So with that in mind, which province has the worst, the worst, abuses the tires the worst?
Oh, that's a good question.
So I would say I have one.
Quebec winters, it's
Yeah.
one.
Quebec, but sometimes not because of it's the driver's fault, but rather the road abuses the tires. We've had a customer who bought 6 tires from us in a row. He had run flat tires on a Mercedes, hit a pothole, blew the 2 rear tires, bought new tires. Same thing, bought new tires. So 6 tires in a row for the rear.
Oh my
So
God.
we told them to change roads.
Yeah.
another
Stop
route.
driving there. Just stop driving there. Yeah, potholes is a big thing, especially with run flat tires that are stiffer. It's just brutal for the tires. So, but it's not the driver's fault, I would say. Other than that, maybe we sell a lot to Alberta. There's a lot of truck with all-terrain tires. So they do off-road trail roads that are a bit tough on the tires sometimes, I would say. But yeah, other than these two, it's pretty even.
Do you're talking about run flats again? Because run flat's an expensive tire. It's not cheap. And for those that don't know, basically, run flat, if your vehicle has a run flat tire, it's because you don't have a spare tire. So a lot of the new cars today don't have a spare tire, but they have a little air compressor that you plug in with some green goop that will get you to the next spot if you get a flat. It's supposed to work. And they say that it saves on the weight of the vehicle and all that stuff. What it does is saves on room and cost, essentially. Yeah. So my point is, a lot of people that are buying online, do you find that they will order non-run flat tires for their run flat because they just base it on price? And do you have issues with that the shops call?
I think there's both. There's the person that says, I have run flat, I need run flat.
Right.
And then there's the others, no way I'm paying that.
Right.
So it's not in between, it's either or.
Right.
That's probably another misconception we talked about also. Yes, a significant amount of people have run flat tires and they don't want new run flat tires because they think it's stiffer, which it is. It's stiffer.
It gives a harsher ride for sure.
Harsher ride. But then again, what we tell them is, look, have a plan B, have a roadside assistance or some kind of contingency plan, because if you get a flat tire without a run flat tire, then what are you going to do? You're stranded, right?
Yeah.
And it's more expensive, usually probably 20% more than the non-run flat version. So yeah, it's significant.
My nightmare story with that is I had a customer with a Mini Cooper, and he didn't want to pay for the run flat. And I said, listen, we push what the manufacturer recommends. We recommend it. We tell you that that's what's best for the vehicle. That's what's best for you. So
there's a reason why the manufacturer is putting that tire.
Absolutely.
There's a reason why.
So I said, but if you're not going to and you don't want to, then at the very least, I'll sell you the set of tires that is non-run flat. This was before I was with Blackcircles. Right. I said, but you've got to buy the compressor so that in case you get stuck, that you will have the compressor.
Because there's not a law, but there's a rule that if you're stuck on the highway, let's say for example on the 401, you need to be able to move your car.
Right.
So the run flat or the compressor allows you to do that, or your spare needs how to do that. Because otherwise, usually they have, I don't know if Ontario is the same, but in Quebec, if you're on the highway, there's a specific towing that coming to pick you up.
Yes, they have the same thing. Yeah.
They're not the same price. They're a huge amount of price that to take your car to move it out
safety,
of the highway.
Safety, yeah,
Exactly.
Safety, yeah. So finishing my story, we sold him the set of tires. And in the first 6 months, he had 3 flats. And he was pissed.
At you.
At me. Because I sold him non-run flat tires. But he didn't want to pay the run flat price.
Telling a story, let's say, for example, that every year there's snow.
Yeah.
But everybody thinks that, this year there won't be any snow.
Right.
So when there is a snowstorm, they're calling us, I need tires. There's snow on the ground.
Yeah.
But then I need it for today.
Yeah.
There's snow every day. So we always say, and we do campaigns every year, don't wait up.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself. And so, because at the end of the day, it comes up, it's our fault.
Yeah.
But be prepared, customer. You know that every year they're going to have some snow. Every year they're going to be, garage will be swamped. They won't be able to accommodate you.
Every year.
Take 3 weeks before won't kill your tires.
No, for sure.
Won't.
I send out a campaign to all of my customers and clients that have tires in storage with me in the middle of October to say, look, come in earlier, get your tires back. Let's get your snow tires on. I'll give you a free jug of washer fluid. And then that way you don't need to stress about coming in the rush, because we want to make sure that our customers receive the same level of service. And being a 6-bay shop, we can't take more than 30 cars a day, which is what we've been averaging, 25 to 30 cars since the snowfall. Yeah. So my favorite story with that is I had at one point in time like 8 people at my counter trying to book their car in after the snowfall, the day of the snowfall and the day after the snowfall. And we've already got people booked in 25, 30 for the next 5 days. And they say, I tried to book online and your next available appointment's next Tuesday. And I'm like, so what makes you think that it's any different coming to talk to me than what my system's telling you? There's a reason. And the one guy says to me, and I was at the end of the day and I'd had it up to here, and he says, I didn't know this was going to happen. And I looked at him, I said, what? November in Canada? You didn't know it was going to happen? It snows, man. It snows.
We hear it every year. It's not going to be any snow this year.
Yeah.
This year, no snow.
All it takes.
Dig every day.
People ask all the time, do I really need snow tires? Do I really? I said, look, once you have snow tires, you will see the difference. You will understand why it's law in Quebec.
There might be no snow.
Right.
But it'll be cold.
It'll be cold, and the stopping and the efficiency and the traction.
That's a big one, actually. Again, also what people believe is that snow tires are for snow. They're for the cold. Tires get stiffer. Summer tires or all-season tires get stiffer when it gets below, the manufacturers say 7 degrees, but let's call it 0 degrees. That's when you lose traction. That's when you lose grip. That's when you lose performance. But winter tires, they remain softer. That's the most important part, actually. Whether you're driving in 10 centimeters of snow or on dry pavement, you don't necessarily need to be driving on snow for a winter tire to perform. It performs really well when it's cold. That's the most important part. Yeah.
Now, it doesn't really matter when you get them on a little earlier, but for some tires, especially the much softer tires that stick to ice, like the Blizzaks, it is very important to get them off before the heat.
What we tell customers is, look, these tires are made to remain soft by negative 30 degrees Celsius, right? Imagine what happens when you drive and the pavement is at 30, 35 degrees Celsius. You're going to destroy your tires. Yeah. And also, they're much softer, so you lose grip, so more braking distance, and your tires are not going to last. So you need to take them off.
Right, right. And some of them, like I said, are more prone to others, because I've seen people drive in June with tires that they bought, the year prior, and we're telling them you need snow tires. Well, I just bought them last year. Yeah. But you took them off in June, and you've been driving 150 kilometers a day. It's too late. Yeah, exactly. So, rank the following in order of Canadian disaster. Okay, for tires: potholes, construction season, or forgetting winter tires. What do you see the most tires from?
You mean forgetting winter tires?
To take them off, like what we just talked about.
This is, a lot of people decide to keep their winter tires these days because of budget reasons, right? We see that more and more. So it happens more and more because tires are expensive, so they keep it. And we've seen that happen more and more. So that would be a big one. Potholes as well. Yeah, for sure.
With potholes, we see a lot of rim damage because it's the low profile tire. So the tire doesn't take the impact, the rims do. So you buy these additional fancy packages for these cars with the low profile tires and the nice big rims, and then you put on your snow tires because you don't want to buy the second set of rims. So we put on your low profile snow tires, which cost a lot in most cases. And then when you hit the first pothole, you crack your rim.
I have a good story about that, actually. And that's also something that people don't realize. Most vehicles nowadays come with bigger rims than before, right? A Toyota RAV4 comes with 19 inches standard almost now. So, and last year we had a case with the Chevrolet Equinox EV. They came to Canada. Nobody was expecting them. They came in 19 inches or 21 inches. and a lot of them came with 21-inch tires, which are huge tires, and especially in their size, they're very expensive. There was even an article last year because there was a shortage across Canada because nobody forecasted. Actually, it's the manufacturer Chevrolet that didn't communicate with tire manufacturers that these vehicles were coming to Canada, so nobody had the tires, and they had to buy 21-inch tires, and people were like, I need to spend $3,000 on a set of tires because it's higher rims, right? So people don't realize that, and as you said, they're low profile, so they're more prone to damage to some extent. Yeah, that's another thing that we see also.
So, touching on that, you mentioned the EV.
Yep.
Because that's the big hype right now that everybody's talking about, whether they're coming or they're not, or they're here or they're staying, or they're 2035, is gone. Whatever. There's a lot of EVs on the road. A lot of the Teslas have specific tires for that vehicle.
Yep.
Is that correct in saying?
So EVs, people tend to think, oh, I need what we call XL tires, extra load tires. So what's important is to watch what we call the load index that's attached to a vehicle that will tell you what load the tire can carry. And you need to make sure you respect it for your vehicle. So that's already going to give you access only to a certain amount of tires for your given size. And on top of that, there's another layer which all manufacturers came to the table. All of them are doing it now. They have EV-specific tires.
Yes.
And for that, they have, some are more...
Wider tires.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Some are more marketing strategies, like you can't really tell if it's real or not. Some of them call them EV-specific, more quiet, less rolling resistance, etc. And some have actual technologies that you can see. The quiet tires are one of them, where there's a specific foam in the tire that reduces the noise. It's a big one.
I remember getting our first tire, and this was, we on my one podcast with my friend who's a comedian, he bought a Tesla. And his whole thing was like, let's talk about Tesla and if you like it and that sort of thing. And I had made the comment about the tires. We had a customer with a Tesla that, thought that he would never see me again. And I'm like, I'll see you next year for some tires. And it was an off the cuff statement that I made, joking. But, that's gotten some traction online and people are like, no.
Every time you sit, there's a person buying an electric car. They road test it with you.
Of course.
The first thing that they do is see how it works.
Let's go. Exactly.
And what they don't think is what makes you go.
Yeah.
It's the tires.
It's the tires, the
as
traction.
much as you accelerate and you brake,
Yeah.
you use your tires.
Yeah.
And my wife actually has a Tesla, and when she hate me for saying that every time, but when she bought a Tesla, I says, okay, now we're gonna work together.
Yeah.
For you to drive, because you used to have a performance car, and it says you can't drive your Tesla like you drive the other one because it's going to cost me a set of tires every year.
Yeah.
So you need to, when you're at 60, 70, then you can floor it, no problem. But
Right.
on the stop sign, please don't do that.
Yeah.
So you saw your friend back the next year for a set of tires?
Oh no! It was just it was a comment that
Okay.
that I had made to a customer who said, he was sad that he was leaving and I'm not going to see you again. I'm like, I'm still going to see you for tires, and depending on how hard you are on the vehicle, we're going to see you, and they're not cheap,
No.
right? So in the video, I said it's like $500 a tire. So then I got all kinds of backlash saying I can get $98 tires for my Tesla. What are you talking about?
Well, they
You
can,
can.
but they will do 1 year.
Like
Absolutely.
You can get $200 tires for your Rolls-Royce Cullinan that we talked about earlier, right? Like you can, for sure.
Right.
But it's going to be entry-level tires.
But the important thing that for safety-wise is the
That-
load index, because they are a heavier vehicle.
Absolutely.
That people don't
I have
understand.
a good story. I remember one time we were invited by a manufacturer. I won't name it, but we were sitting in the car and there was two different cars. It was a Subaru WRX.
Okay.
They took out the ABS, so it's going to be the real braking.
Yeah.
In one side we had the actual manufacturer, which was a premium manufacturer, tires, and the other ones they didn't tell us because they rub it, but they say it's an entry level tires.
Okay.
And we had to floor it, and when there was a light coming, we had to brake it, but not brake like
Yeah.
Break it.
Panic braking. Panic
break
braking.
it
Yeah.
full. And do you know what the difference in feet and braking was in between the premium and the entry level?
I'm going to guess like 30 feet.
You weren't there that day, so
No, probably 30, 40 feet at least, yeah.
55 feet.
Wow.
We were going up to 70 kilometers an hour. So imagine if you have a cheap tires,
Yeah.
you're on the rain, and you come up and there's somebody that decide to cross the street 70 feet. You grow through him, okay?
Yeah.
It's long 70 feet.
Yeah.
It's huge. Me, it was a huge eye opener when I said, "Oh my God!"
And is there no government regulations for tires?
For the quality of tires, no, there's not.
And that's kind of crazy, isn't it? There's regulations and bureaucracy for everything else in our
Well,
industry.
for winter tires, there is a regulation, right, to have the certification that makes
Right.
it legal.
Yeah,
in
but
Quebec.
it's not regulate. It's the
It's
Transport
easy to
Canada
get,
doesn't
yeah.
look. So you can even
to get.
us, we can say, okay, let's do a Black Circle tires and let's put the on it. Nobody will check if the tires meet
There's
the
a new
requirement.
certification that they've released, but the old one, which is still the one we use for the law in Quebec, is a bit outdated. Yeah, it's easy to get for most manufacturers. This winter, we call it 3 Peak Mountain Snowflake certification.
Yes.
So that's easy to get. Yeah.
Do you see? Have you heard anything as far as regulation for other provinces to be like Quebec, where it's mandatory to put on snow tires?
I haven't heard, but I haven't heard from the government, but I'm starting to hear it by insurance company.
Yeah. And I think
That in
Manitoba
certain
is the
province,
case.
in certain area, that you need to have winter tires and you need to have proof of installation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I
Is it
think
in Ontario?
it's not gonna come from the government. I think it's gonna come more from the insurance company.
There is discounts available that some companies do offer.
Okay.
That you have to prove
That you have
that
winter
that
tires.
you have winter tires and pictures and stuff provided to them on the vehicle and that sort of thing. And that's on select and what the savings are varies. So I honestly don't know. There isn't a standard, but I can see it coming in to Ontario because it does make a difference for traction wise, for stopping and all that
In
stuff.
BC, there's a law on the highways, but it's the snowflake or the M+S mud and snow logo, which is worth nothing.
There's place in the Alberta, something you need to have nails
Studded?
studded,
tires?
yeah, studded place that you need to have
Right.
mandatory. It's not mandatory. It's highly suggested.
Of course, or you're going to end up in the ditch. So, do you think Canadians underestimate how dangerous bald tires are? And when I say bald tires, we've got a lot of clients bring in their snow tires and they want us to put them on right now, and we say your snow tire has 3/30 seconds of a tread left. There's no point in putting this tire on because it's bald. No, there's still tread left. You're just trying to sell me a set of tires. No, because a new tire, snow tire, comes with like 13/30 seconds. So you've used up most of the life of this tire. It's not safe to go on. If I'm putting this tire on your car, you're signing off. And I've done that. And that's
But
fine.
there are certain provinces that a garage can't install under
Certain.
XYZ 32. There's certain provinces that there's a law.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, if in Ontario there would be a law for you can't install under 532. It's the law. I can't.
Yeah.
The law
I'm sure
I
that-
can be
Liable.
liable.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the main thing. Like looking out for yourself, but people will take their tires to the extreme.
But there's some people that buy used.
Oh, yeah.
They buy used
People buy
tires
used
and
tires.
stuff like that. A lot of them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, okay to buy used because XYZ, we always have a budget. But the thing is, do you know where they were stored? Where they're stored in a place that it's convenient for the tires? Do they put on their balcony when there's rain all over? And you don't know that. So sometimes it's
I think they more than underestimate, or they underestimate it because they don't realize. Nobody's interested in their tires. But at the end of the day, it's the only part of your car that's touching the ground, right? We often say like, this is times this surface by 4, and that's what touches the ground at any given time from your car. So you can have the best car ever if
that's what's
your
going to stop
tires are
you,
bad.
and that's what's going to
It can be
make-
life and death in some
Yeah.
cases. Right? So, but people don't realize. And again, it's a necessity purchase. Nobody's excited to be buying the tires, right? Like I said. So yeah, they want the cheapest possible. But when you realize that this is the only thing that's touching,
and
the
I'm
ground,
guilty. Before I was in tires, I didn't care anymore. But when you're in tires and you get training and you see and you test product and stuff, and you see, oh my God, there's a huge difference between level 1 product to tier 5 product. There's a huge difference. So obviously we understand that everybody has a budget, but how's your life and your siblings important to you?
Exactly.
I said one time there was a friend of mine, he called me, says, I need very good cheap tires for my wife. Says, do you have a good insurance? I said, what do you mean? And I explained to you my story about the 50 feet difference. He says, oh, I'll take her good tires then. Sometimes it's between the cheap tires and the good tires, it's maybe $30, $35 per tire.
It doesn't have to be
But
the
you're
most
going to do
expensive.
at least 1 year more. At least.
So, great story that I have from one of my customers. The Michelin Cross Climate.
Right.
Excellent tire. I call it the Cadillac of tires. So, Mr. Hubley, a good customer of mine that's been with me for the full 23 years, came in and he had his Hyundai Santa Fe. And he says, Mike, it's time for tires. You told me it was time for tires. And he's a snowbird. So he goes to Florida every year and for the winter and comes back. And he goes, before I go to Florida, I want a good, aggressive, all-season tire. I said, listen, you want the Michelin Cross Climate. Come on over here. So I went on the website for Black Circles and I pull up. And he says, $320 a tire. Are you kidding me? And I said, I'm not kidding you at all. He says, that's ridiculous. Why would I pay that? I said, because it's the best quality tire that you can get. And I know you hold on to your vehicles, you drive to Florida. I'm telling you, you will not get a better traction tire, a better riding tire than this Michelin Cross Climate. Reluctantly, he was mad. He says, okay,
But
fine.
he still bought them.
Here's the credit card. Just put them on. So when will they be here? 3 to 5 days. Great. I think 4 days later they arrive. Call them up. We've installed them. Doing alignment because we try to promote doing alignments with your new tires because you've done this investment. But this is, you'll be happy. He left mad. He was, thanks. I said, I didn't make any money on the sale of the tires. This isn't my company. These guys are just, you're getting it at a good price. If you were to shop around, you'd know that this was a good price for the car. Okay, whatever. He left. 4 months later, he comes back.
From Florida.
From Florida.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he's standing there and there was a couple other customers and he was waiting patiently. He comes walking up and he looks, he says, Michael, I owe you an apology. I said, really? He says, I have replaced the picture of my wife in my wallet with the picture of Cross Climate tires. he says, I can't believe my car is totally different. It handles different. It drives better. The traction was phenomenal. My gas mileage is improved. How? Why? And I said, the manufacturers are no different than any other organization. They will try to get the cheapest bidder to put on the tires. So the cheap tires that you had from the manufacturer when you bought the car, that was the best deal that the manufacturer could get for the vehicle. And this is now an upgrade and up level. So needless to say, that was like 3 years ago. He's still very happy. The tires are still good because they come with, I think, what, 100,000 kilometer warranty?
Yeah,
Wear out
right.
warranty as long as you have the alignment and everything. So
Rotation, yeah.
it's very good. That's the one story that I have. So we talked a little bit about EVs, about the importance of having the load rating.
The low rating, yeah.
Speed rating, how important is that for tires?
For this, so our rule is if you're buying summer or all-season tires that you're going to drive during the summer, you need to respect the speed index that comes with your vehicle. And another misconception, people see, oh, I have a V speed index. It means my tires can go up to 240 kilometers per hour. I'm never going to drive that speed. It's not only about the speed. It's also about the constraints and the forces that the vehicle, by driving the vehicle, you're going to put on the tires in terms of cornering, acceleration, grip, etc. So it's not only the top speed, it's also how you drive it and how the vehicle drives on the tires. So we respect it for the summer. For winter, we often, the rule from the manufacturers themselves is that you can go down in speed index, maybe one down, one below, because you're not going to drive as fast. It can be problematic for some EVs, like the Teslas, for example, because they come with a very high speed index for the summer, W, and some manufacturers make tires with a T speed index, which is very much below. But we can at least go 1 or 2 below for the winter. So summer respected, winter you can go down a little bit, is the bottom line on this one. But
Okay.
load index respected at all time.
Yep.
All the time. Equal or superior.
What's the biggest change you've seen in the tire industry since you started, Martin? You've seen a lot. You've been through a lot.
Entry level, maybe?
Yeah, the entry level. What we've seen from our perspective, at first we were very, very strong on tier 1, tier 2. Now the entry level is changing, is evolving. But again, in the entry level, there's, in some case, respectable product.
Now, is it name brand manufacturers that are creating the entry level, or it's a separate company, totally separate?
Totally separate.
Okay, so they're taking similar tread patterns and creating their own brand,
Yeah.
their own tire.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Rim size is a big one, like I mentioned earlier. The wheels are much bigger than before.
Oh yeah, that's something else. I remember in 2018, it was mainly 16 inches. Now
16,
it's
17.
mainly 18, 19.
Mm.
And we see cars that coming with 21 inches,
Yeah.
22 inches tires. That's
23.
23 inches now. So that's something that you need to look also when you buy a car. Sometimes, oh wow, that great wheels and stuff like that. But having a 23-inch tires is gonna cost
Going to cost you money for
I just
sure.
remember my
Yeah.
wife when she wanted to buy a Tesla, she wanted to have the
Performance?
the performance
Yeah,
version.
yeah.
And it was a 21-inch tire, and it was only Pirelli that was doing
Different
some.
size from
And
mirror.
I thought it's $700 a tire.
Yeah.
I said no. So look at it. So we went to the long range. The long range you could have 19, but you can put on an 18.
Right.
So it's okay. That's
better.
more affordable. But back 10 years ago, there was 14 and 15 inches on most of the car.
Right.
Now it's more 18 and 19 inches.
And do you think that's just purely for aesthetics, or for handling? They're a wider tire and
The
more
cars
narrow.
are bigger and bigger.
Mm.
Bigger cars, aesthetics,
So, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bit of everything.
So, which tire brand has the best marketing? Which one oversells itself?
I would say Pirelli and Michelin are up there.
Mm.
Pirelli, obviously, with the F1, they tend
F1.
to be up there.
They had a good slogan also.
Yeah.
Power is nothing without control. That was their slogan back in the days.
That is a good slogan, yeah.
That's good. Michelin obviously is up
Yeah.
there.
Is the Michelin Man still a thing?
Yeah, they
It's still
are in
there?
all of their
They been there.
advertising.
Yeah.
We bend them, yeah.
Still there?
Uh,
They use it.
and the one that is short falling, there's some companies that are very good product and they don't do nothing to promote it. Like I would say maybe Hankook, Toyo, Continental. They don't do much. All for us, for example, with us.
Right.
So at some point they're good product, but I think they're
I think a lot of the manufacturers, when you mention Continental, a lot of the European manufacturers that come standard. So that a lot of people are creatures of habit. So they will.
Original
The car came. I want the original equipment tire that's on the vehicle, and you try to
But
tell them they don't have to go with that. It
that's
doesn't
something
matter.
also that we do over the phone when we have someone that says, obviously we have 52 choice, but what do you have right now? Are you happy with what you have right now? If the person says, yes, I'm happy, why don't change something? But if they're not happy, sometimes we tend to propose them something else.
The original equipment briefly is, so there's original equipment and there's homologated tires. It's two different things, right? So a Honda Civic, for example, it's like you said, they say we're going to build 2 million Honda Civics. I want the cheapest tire. Who has a tire? And then a Kumo will raise their hands and say, I have 2 million tires for your car. And they'll put them on the car. In some other cases, more for premium vehicles or European manufacturers, it's homologated tires. So BMW is making their new, whatever, X5, and they're saying, I want a tire built specifically for my X5. I want grip, I want wet traction, I don't care about durability. Most of the time, they don't care about durability. And I want to run flat tire, for example. And then they say, who's going to build the tire for me? And then usually it's Bridgestone, Michelin, Pirelli will raise their hand and say, I will build the tire for this car. But it's specifically made for the car. It's not a tire that they took that existed already. They're building the tire for the car. And some are for Tesla also, for example. So it's technically tailored for the car, and it's what the manufacturer wanted. Some customers don't like it because it's a run flat, because it doesn't last long most of the time.
Right.
But it's what the manufacturer intended. You can replace it by something that's going to last longer. You can for sure. But if you want your car to perform exactly as BMW, Audi, whatever intended, Porsche intended, get the homologated tire. That's the message we give our customers.
If you could give Canadian drivers one piece of tire advice that would save them money and maybe their lives, what would it be?
Don't cheap out on tires.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
You get what you pay for.
you get what
Essentially,
you,
you get what you pay for.
You know, I always say, if I wasn't working in a tire business, I would have gone for a good mid-range tire, probably. I don't know if I would have purchased the best of the best
Right.
at this stage in my life or before, but I would have gone for a good mid-range. Go for a good mid-range, but don't cheap out on tires. It's the only thing that touches the ground.
And is alignment at shop level just an upsell?
No,
You tell us.
no.
I was waiting for some. I was waiting for some questions. You said you might have some questions for me.
What
so,
do you think? Yeah.
of course, no. You're making the investment. In some cases, $1,200. Do the alignment check. Make sure that the vehicle is in
and you've
alignment.
been running at least for 3 years with your car.
Right.
So
The-
my father used to do an alignment every year. I would say, okay.
There are some manufacturers that
That
say
recommend
that they should be doing it every year,
Okay.
like every 20,000 K. People say that's overkill. Look, every 2 years at minimum is what I say.
And
that
how
they
much
should
is
be doing
today? If you don't
alignment check $100.
have $100.
So you do the check, and then you.
If it needs adjustment, then it's additional time onto that.
Yeah.
But
It's
there's
part
no
of-
additional charge, so it's not like you pay me the alignment check, and then you have to pay me the alignment. It's in one. So we'll do the alignment check. Okay, the car's out. We contact the customer. Hey, your car's out.
It's taking
We're gonna
care-
do the
care of your
adjustment.
car at the same time.
For sure.
And
And with the complicated suspension systems of a lot of vehicles, it's required because it'll cause tire wear, and it doesn't take much for a vehicle to get out of
not only
alignment.
tire wear can cause other things.
Oh, for sure. The ADAS
suspension.
and with all the complicated systems on the vehicle, like it's the adaptive cruise, all that stuff can be affected by misalignment. But more importantly, we're talking tires as far as like wear and tear on the tire.
And
It's
sometimes we receive a customer says, "Oh, I just changed my tire. My car is shaking." Okay, but that's a tire. Yeah, have you checked for the alignment?
No.
Yeah, but it was running right. Yeah, because the tire was wear in a certain way. Now you
Right.
have tires that are
gripping,
gripping more
yep.
and stuff. We always say, go back to the garage and ask to look for an alignment
Yeah.
to see if everything is perfect.
or proper balance. And you had mentioned, Olivier, the rotation. So here we do the VIP service every 10,000 K. Most cars, full synthetic oil. They come in, we see them twice a year, 10,000 K. We do the tire rotation. So we don't have issues with our customers' tires.
And it's a
wearing out.
requirement for your warranty. It's a
For
requirement
mileage
for road hazard
And
to do a
proper rotation. Well, then
And
that-
your tire will last longer.
Yep. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
did you have any questions for me?
No, you have a question?
No? Nothing? I was expecting
Well,
to
we
get
did
like
ask you some
hammered.
questions,
Well, yeah,
right?
there was a couple in there, I guess. Okay. What's next for Blackcircles Canada? Any big changes or innovations on the horizon?
The since then we're a profitable business since a few months now. Right now it's obviously
An overnight success. A few months profitable, and it's taken you 7 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Listen to that,
with
entrepreneurs.
low margin. But the thing is to automate more and more. That's one of the main things. Because as you know, Blackcircles is online, but we have 20 or 21 systems that's talking to each other. So it's to be effective with us, the manufacturers, the customer, the garage, and stuff like that. It's to have more robust system and automate better. Obviously, there's the AI that we're looking right now, AI for me, it's a buzzword. Everybody's talking about AI, but when they talk AI, they talk ChatGPT. But there's a lot of stuff that can be done throughout customer services, booking online, and all kinds of stuff that we're looking at right now to improve our business. But also, not only that, but how we gather the consumer. Right now, it's done through all kinds of multiple platform that we use. Right now, we have 21 point of acquisition that we acquire customer, but we want also use AI into all of those, how we can improve. And maybe you can add.
No, I was going to say AI, not for customer requests, right? More behind the scenes to help us automate things, but we still want to be reachable. We don't want our customers to talk to a chatbot.
No.
They're talking to us.
That's the danger. I mean, your people that you have that we deal with at shop level, and we know that our clients are going to be taken care of. So that's what always gives me the good feeling of sending customers and clients your way, because I know that they're going to be taken care of, and that there's not going to be an issue. And if there is, it'll be taken care of.
When it's going well, it's easy.
Absolutely.
It's when the shit hit the fan.
Right.
That's when you need to have the good people at the right place to be able to support you. I remember you even called me one time, say, I have a client, how can we work this out? Hey, we're human, and we have people work behind the scene and trying to not only help the consumer, but help at the garage level and so on. And that's what keeps me up at night usually, to make sure that the customer is well served.
I think this is why we both have the same hairstyle. You and I, we both similarly
You're going to get there eventually.
Don't sleep well at night, and then pull out the hair, what's left. But so people can go on to urbanautomotive.ca and click in the top right-hand corner. There's a link to buy tires. But anyone else in the free world that's listening, where can they learn more information about your business and buying tires?
Blackcircles.ca. It's
And
the
talk to
place
us.
to be. Talk to us. Don't be shy. I mean,
Chat.
again,
Chat with us.
tires are a technical product. If you don't know, don't assume. Call us. We won't sell you a product just to sell you a product. We'll answer your question. And to be honest, I think it's 60% of our customers are women. And why? Because we did a little survey. It's because when they go to garage, they felt, not that the garage did that, but they felt that they were misled because they don't know. But us, they call us or they chat with us.
Yeah.
We don't know who's on the other side of the thing, so but we're there to answer the questions.
Yeah. Well, you've done an incredible job, Martin, and congratulations to both of you.
Congrats
and
to my team
the,
as well.
the entire team, yeah, for sure. You're 25 employees now?
Yeah.
It started out with?
One.
There you go.
One in a
And
computer.
that is honestly awesome, and I'm so proud to be affiliated with you guys, and thank you for taking care of my clients and my team, and thank you for taking the trip out and the time
Pleasure.
to come and do this, and
Anytime.
hopefully some people got some insight on this, and we can continue to do business for a few more years.
Yes, hopefully.
Glad to
Awesome.
have you.
Until we retire, both of us. Then we go fishing.
Next year.
Oh, I'm not that ready.
No, me neither. Me neither. Everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You've been watching You Ought to Know with Mike, Martin, and Olivier. Thank you, boys.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike.
Travels back to Montreal, and
Thank you.
good luck this afternoon getting your award.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care.